Welcome back. Hopefully you managed to complete Lab 1 successfully. If so, you can skip this video and move on with Lab 2. If you got stuck, I'll take you through the lab step by step and we'll build the application together. The first section in the notebook details the setup needed to complete the lab. You should already have completed these steps in the prerequisites section. In particular, make sure you have run the appropriate cells to install the Streams Health package and input your Bluemix service credentials. The application you will create in this lab is a simple one. It will get patient data from a repeated sample and print it to the console with no processing in between. Now we'll take a look at the sample patient data. This data will be used to simulate a continuous data source of health readings from the patient. You will shortly be making copies of this data and sending them to your streaming application, so that in this lab, each tuple on your stream carries this information. Let's look at some important aspects of the sample data. The patient ID is the patient's identifying number, and the location ID tells you which hospital bed they are assigned to. There is more important information in the reading list. The reading type sublist contains a field for code. Later in this course, the application will sort through different types of readings, for example, heart rate, temperature, and respiratory rate. This code is unique for every different type of reading. Finally, under the reading list, there is a field for value of the reading. You will use this later in the course to analyze the values of heart rate readings and compute their average. Now that you are familiar with your goals and the sample data to be used, let's move on to the Python notebook where you will be doing your development. In the first lab, you're provided with headings under which to develop your application. You can then copy and paste your existing code into the cell for the next lab to build your program. The code to configure your Bluemix access is already provided. It will work with the service name and credentials you put in to access your Bluemix streaming analytics service. The first thing you need to do is import the necessary modules from the StreamsX package. In particular, you'll need the topology import. You'll also need the entire streamsx.topology.context module. Now you need a data source. Let's create a function called observations. We'll assign the sample patient data, which we can copy and paste from above, to a new string variable. To load the JSON, we must import the JSON module. Then we can call json.load on the data and assign it to a variable. Streaming applications run so quickly that they can take up too much processing power. Let's import the time module and slow down your source to produce 1 tuple per second. Finally, you want this function to continuously yield the dictionary object with the patient data. To simulate a continuous source, we'll enclose the observations function with an infinite while loop. This completes your function. We'll create a new topology named topo. Next, we'll invoke the source operation on this topology to assign your observation source to the application. Next, we'll print the stream data to the console. Finally, we'll submit the application over Bluemix. This requires us to specify that the desired mode of submission is over your streaming analytics service. We'll pass in the topology and the predefined set of configurations. This completes the application. Now we'll run the cell and wait for the output. Once the job has been submitted to your Bluemix service, output will stop. Let's visit the Streams console to see how the application is working. You'll have to log into your IBM Bluemix account to access your Streams console. Once you have done so, navigate to your list of services. If you're not here, click on the Bluemix button. Select your streaming analytics service. Make sure your service is running. If it is stopped, click Start. You'll also have to go back to the notebook and run your application again for it to submit successfully. Click the Launch button to access your Streams console. You'll start off on the application dashboard. You can see a list of data related to your Streams jobs in the summary card. The Streams tree shows a hierarchy of your current Streams jobs and their health. The Streams graph shows the data flow of your Streams applications. The one that you submitted just has your observation source and the print statement. You can always explore more, but if you want a more detailed tour of the Streams console, consider taking the Get Started with IBM Streams course. Let's navigate to the console log to view the output of our application. If the sidebar is not visible, click the Streams logo to expand it. Click the Log Viewer icon. Select your job's processing element, or PE. If your job has more than one, you may need to try different ones to find the one that shows output. Select Console Log and load console messages. If there's no output yet, wait a few seconds, then click Reload. Here are our patient data tuples. You'll notice that they're all exactly the same as the sample patient data we saw before. That's all we need to see here. Your Streams applications will run infinitely until you stop them. Click on the Cancel Jobs button, select the jobs you'd like to cancel, and click Cancel Jobs. Now we have no jobs left running in the Streams console. Congratulations! You have created, run, and observed your first Streams application with the Python API. With these core skills, you can build increasingly more complex applications. In the next lab, you'll add some functionality to your existing application.